And your first job was teaching, right?
Yes.
And you got fired from that job.
Yes.
For, as I understand it, sassing the principal or standing up and making demands to help the other teachers in the school. Tell me what happened.
You know, you can say something and it takes effect one way. You can say something, the same thing, and it takes effect another way. The only thing is I didn't use diplomacy in what I said. And it happened like this. Here I am, fresh out of Tuskegee, being just bubbling over with Tuskegee and the things we did. I played on the basketball team. I was on the varsity basketball team. I sang in the choir, the octet, and the choir. And I felt that here I am now teaching at the school with these wonderful kids. I'm going to take Tuskegee and put it in the middle of the school. The school was a new Rosenwald school. And I had 2 classes. I didn't see how in the world I could teach 2 classes, because when I came up, they had 3 or 4 first grades, 2 or 3 second grades, and you had a teacher for each class. And I had 2 classes. Well, the school was new. They had no recreation. They had nothing. Nothing, not even a decent yard for the kids to play on. So I decided that I was going to get a basketball court. And there was no money. In fact, I didn't even know how to go after money if they had it. But what I did is to divide the kids. I had 2 captains, and each one would select whom they want to work with them. And these are 2 clubs, the Busy Bee Club and the Working Winners Club, Working Winners Club, something like that. And they'd go out and raise money. And at a certain time, we would close the contest, and the club that had the least would entertain the club that had the most. And we would go on a hike. So we all went on this hike. And of course we had everything we thought we needed except fish. And we were to catch the fish. We had hot dogs and hamburgers and everything you needed, and the pot to fry the fish in. And we didn't catch any fish. But we had a wonderful time. When it was time to leave, while we were there, I beat the kids climbing the trees. Not one of them could climb the tree as high as I. I beat them running. But we just had a wonderful time. And when we got the equipment, the principal wouldn't put the equipment up. They had a feast in the wilderness, and I had my kids to decorate the auditorium and things like that we did. And he never said anything, but when people came to the church, to the school, they would look at the basketball court that we had to hire a man to put the basket up. They would congratulate him. Everything I did, he got credit. So we had a county teachers meeting. And when we had this meeting, just at the close of the meeting, the president said, "Is there anyone who would like to have something to say? If so, stand up, give your name, the school where you're working, and the name of the principal." I raised my hand. "I have something to say." "State your name," and I did. "My name is Amelia Platts. I'm working with the Camden County Training School, And the students get along beautifully. The students are wonderful. But I don't get any cooperation from the teachers. Now, the teachers were, I think we had 8 or 10 teachers. All of them were family folk. The principal, his sisters, his cousins, his nephew, all of them but me. I was the outsider. And they made it hard for me. And when I said, I don't get any cooperation from them. Okay. That was on Saturday, I think. On Monday morning, he came into the room. He said, Miss Platts, why did you say that? I said, you know, it's true. I told it like it was. And he said, Miss Platts, you're fired. I said, I don't care. So the first of the month I left, and I went to Philadelphia, where my family was. My folk had moved then.
How did they react to the fact that you'd been fired?
I don't think they thought anything much about it.
They probably weren't surprised.
I guess they figured that was happening. And I know that they figured, well, that girl's not going to stay anywhere because she's going to speak her mind. And I feel that that's the way they felt because I went on and made application to work at another school. And this is the time that I'm spending there. I got applications. And I was going to work in Pelham, Georgia. Well, I had already agreed to work there. Then I went to New York to see my sister. And when I came back, my mother said, you got to pack and go right away. I said, where? You got to go down to Americus, Georgia. I said, Americus? Never heard of it. Yes, because we got a call that they want you to teach at Americus Institute. And the president of the institute is Mr. Lampkin. Now, I was under Mr. Lampkin at Georgia State. And I said, well, I have already decided, no, you are going to Americus Institute. Mr. Lampkin knows you. And he knows the family. Well, he was, that family and our family were friends. And she didn't say it like this, but she meant, and he'll keep you in line. Well, I went on. I went on there.
But you didn't stay there long either, did you?
No.
No.
I stayed there 3 months. All teaching, I taught altogether about 7 months, 8 months. Because when I got there, I was supposed to have charge of the home ec department, which I did. And the school, like all of the Baptist schools, or many of them, it was going down. And they had a basketball team, and I was a coach. And I had just left Tuskegee, and we were going to play Tuskegee. Now, this is the same team that I was on. And as we began to leave, I saw the postman, and I said to the driver, wait a minute, let me see if the postman has any mail for me. And I saw this letter that came that said, get in touch with Mr. T.M. Campbell in Tuskegee. Well, I was coming to Tuskegee. So after I got the students all situated, I went to the home of Mr. Campbell, and he sent me to the state agent, county agent, filled out blanks and everything. And when I knew anything on April the 1st, I had to give up my job, and I was headed here to Tuskegee.
And your job description was?
I'll be working for the United States Department of Agriculture as a county agent, a home demonstration agent in the county of Dallas.